Hello, how's it going? Happy Sunday, April 11th. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. It is Masters Sunday. It is close. There's 4 or 5 in contention to win it today. It's going to be very exciting. Lots to talk about that has transpired this past week in Brownsville sports, in the RGV, and I guess at the with the big boys. Um, First and foremost, we want to start off our show by remembering Coach Joe Rodriguez, who was a great person for Brownsville, for the Rio Grande Valley. Since the 60s and 70s, through sports, he's been able to impact the lives of many, many student athletes. How's it going, Joe? Joe Rodriguez. How's it going, buddy? Um, and with Coach, he's given thousands of scholarships. He served in the capacity as a coach, as an administrator, as an athletic director, and as a board member. And he passed away this past week. So we're offering his children, his family, his immediate friends, all those that he impacted during his life. Our condolences. I got to meet Coach Joe through this past campaign. I got to know him pretty well. Um, it's sad for somebody uh, to pass away. Um, but again, we thank him for everything that he's done, and more than anything, to celebrate his life, for affecting the lives of others throughout his personal and professional um, career. There will be a ceremony coming up soon. I will be posting the hours for visitations for Coach. So more than anything, uh, just to remember him, celebrate his life, and pay respects to his children and his loved ones for everything that he's done for BISD, for the Rio Grande Valley, and for Brownsville sports. Thank you, Coach. West Brownsville. A quick announcement. West Brownsville is going to be open to all of Brownsville due to COVID. The city is only focusing on establishing one league. It's going to start April the 23rd. There are no zone boundaries, again, because of COVID. So, regardless of where you live in Brownsville, if you have a team, if you're looking to join a league, West Brownsville is the league for Brownsville. Again, the season begins on April the 23rd, and they have 3 divisions. They have travel ball, AAA. They have AA 10 through 12, uh, kid pitch, coach pitch, and T-ball. They won't be starting until after the season, so they'll be starting in June. Softball will also begin April 23rd. Girls 9 through 14 who want to join. So if you're interested, if you know of a team, contact Dino Chavez. If not, I'll be providing information in regards to how we can help. Those teams that want to join. Haven't found a league yet, so we'll be helping out with that. College football. Andres Perez was offered a scholarship. The former Rivera Raiders 32-6A first team All District quarterback, better known as Chito Perez, he signed to play for Briar Cliff University. They are an NAIA program, which is located in Iowa. During Perez's senior year, it was short due to COVID, but he passed for almost 1,000 yards with 8 touchdowns in 4 games. So we wish Chito Perez much success. We hope to have him starting, competing, and hopefully one day, transferring or playing on on Championship Saturday, one of these days, on TV. So congratulations to the Rivera Raider coaches. But most importantly, congratulations to Andres Perez and his family for playing ball at the next level. It's a great achievement, great accomplishment. Not many people get that opportunity. So it's very important, Mr. Perez, for you to be responsible, do everything possible to make sure that you and your body are ready to go whenever your number's called. So congratulations. Hope to hear from you in the very near future. And I might reach out. I want to reach out actually to be able to get an interview. I wanna see what motivates Mr. Perez, what goals he has for the future for himself. So hopefully we'll be in touch soon. Again, this past Friday, we had the Porter Cowboys play against Valley View in the Final Four semifinal match in Mercedes, Texas. It was a tough game. The Porter Cowboys were dominating offensively throughout the whole game. Valley View scored on a penalty kick, which in my opinion, it shouldn't have been a penalty kick. The defender was just playing too close. He held on to the jersey a little bit too much, and Valley View got the call. They were up 1-0 at the half. 1-1 actually after this goal, and I want to show it to you. It's a beautiful goal, 55 yards out. Porter, with 7 minutes left in the first half, they're down 1-0.
Sends it forward. It's the box. In the back of the net.
Again, 55 yards. Free kick.
Sends it forward. It's the box.
Goes right through the goalie's hands. Porter tied it 1-1 to close out the half. It was an amazing goal. Again, when I saw it, I was impressed. I was like, golazo, golazo. I was freaking out. They tied it 1-1. It ended up going to overtime, extra minutes. Valley View on a counterattack in the first half of overtime. They got a 2-on-1, and they were fortunate enough to put in another goal. Again, like how I said, throughout the whole game, the Cowboys, they just couldn't score. They had the possessions. They had, I would dare say, more time in possession of the ball than Valley View the whole game. They had more corner kicks than them. It's just for whatever reason, like how I announced it on that day. I was actually broadcasting it, which was pretty cool. Something I wanna keep on doing. The ball just didn't bounce in their favor for whatever reason. You know, sometimes it goes. That's the way it goes. Unfortunately for sports, you can prepare, you can have the best team out there, but for one reason or another, it's just not your day. So the Porter Cowboys unfortunately lost 2-1. But like how I said, it was theirs to take. It's difficult because that's a game they should have won. But nonetheless, we are still very proud. Así es el fútbol. You're right, Matthew. That's the way it is. Every dog has his day. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how much time you dedicate it. Sometimes you feel it, sometimes you don't. That's just the beauty of sports. That anybody who can compete and hopefully win it. But like I said, unfortunately, we didn't get the victory, but nonetheless, we're still very proud of Brandon Montes, of the head coach, the program, the school. It was good representation up in Mercedes. Brownsville, La Porter really went out and rooted for the Cowboys. Administrators were there, board members were there. It was a good crowd. So nonetheless, Brownsville's very proud of what Porter Cowboys have established, what Brownsville soccer has done. It has really put Brownsville soccer in the past 5-10 years on the map. Not that it wasn't before, but when you have schools like Rivera, Lopez, Porter competing, winning, state titles, and being very close to that championship game. It really puts Brownsville on the map. I think Matthew even suggested it back on Friday that BISD, that Brownsville should focus more on soccer, because we're all in love with football. We love football, but the probabilities of us getting a scholarship to play ball, you have to be a Jason Garcia, Martin Carrion, talented guys that have that ability. If not, there's also golf, but more than anything, Brownsville has soccer. We have a good pipeline of amazing players that hopefully, and obviously UTRGV is aware of that, and there is opportunity here locally too to play college ball. I know some of the Brownsville Lopez, Rivera Raiders have played here collegiately, locally, with the UTRGV Vaqueros. So Brownsville has a great soccer program. We're very proud of the Porter Cowboys again. Thankful to the community for showing out and showing love to the Porter Cowboys. I'll be also reaching out to Brandon Montes, a great young man, just to talk about the season. It was a season to remember. We would all wish to be a part of a ride like that. It's unfortunate again that they didn't win it all, but more than anything, the experience, the camaraderie, the relationships that they build, the memories that they made will be with them forever. And that's why we play sports. We play sports to build memories, right? So again, congratulations to the Porter Cowboys on their much deserved success. Congratulations, guys. Again, not only do we focus on our student athletes, we also want to recognize our students. Last week, we presented poetry, UIL recipients, those who will be competing in regionals. We did recognize them and let them know that we are excited and more than anything, grateful for them that they are expressing themselves through these arts. Not only can we do it in sports, we could also do arts through dance. And these young ladies from Pace Choir Fine Art Program, they made all-state choir team. Sarah Hinojosa and Angela full recordings this year. They beat out lots of students from Texas to earn first chairs in Alto 1 and Alto 2 sections. Angela, she was recognized as the only 4-year all-state choir member in Brownsville, having dominated since her freshman year. So congratulations to you, ma'am, Angela, for you're a beast. This is what you're good at. Congratulations. So congratulations again to Sarah Hinojosa and Angela Saldivar on making it to All-State in choir for Alto 1 and Alto 2. Congratulations. I myself was in choir at Oliveira. Miss Angela Saldivar and Sarah Hinojosa. I was in choir myself. Great experience. I played a role in Pirates of Penzance, if I'm not mistaken. I forget the name of the play. It was an awesome play, actually. It was my seventh grade year. Here's Miss Hinojosa with her family, and Angela Saldivar again for their success in choir. So congratulations to them. It's very impressive for Angela to be recognized as the only 4-year all-state choir member in Brownsville. That's very, very impressive. She's in a league of her own. So congratulations, Ms. Saldivar, on your achievements. Congratulations. Also, RGV Elite Boxing, the Juarez family, Aiden traveled to San Antonio. He competed and he won 2 fights. So congratulations to Aiden from RGV Elite Boxing with the Juarez brothers. Um, Again, we see what Coach Juarez has done with the Juarez brothers, and it's just very exciting for him to be training young men, molding them to be good individuals, great boxers, and represent the city of Brownsville the way Aiden and the Juarez brothers have been doing so far. And it just goes to show, that sky's the limit with these young men. It's impressive for Rudy to be doing what he's done. It just goes to show the dedication, the passion that he has, and more power to him. We wish them much success. Again, we're big fans of Sebastian, of Omar, of Rudy playing football up there. So anytime any chance that we get to uh, recognize and just have these role models, inspire others, like how we see with Aiden here, it's a big deal for me. At least it is for me. So we'll be following Aiden. We wish them much success as well. Hopefully they'll be able to win more matches, have much more success throughout their careers. Uh, basketball. Here we have an eighth grader, Alexis from Los Fresnos. She's actually an eighth grader at Resaca Middle School. She's scrimmaging with the Lady Falcon varsity basketball team. So here you have an eighth grader playing ball with sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Alexis is very talented. She's very dedicated. She loves basketball, and it's pretty impressive. Here she is with her biggest supporters. Her mom was missing. I didn't want to put her on. She's a little ugly. My aunt's a little ugly. Just kidding. But here she is with two of her bigger supporters. Again, very, very impressive for a young lady to be in middle school and be competing with older girls. And again, Alexis is a baller. I've seen her play. She's got good dribbling skills, good handles. She's got a good shot. So hopefully, it's like how I told her. As long as you keep up your grades, as long as you focus on sports, that's your ticket out of here. That's the message that we should all be giving to these young men and women. If you're passionate about something, if you're good at something, focus on it. Make sure that you do everything possible to try and get a scholarship. That's one of our main goals, to get out of the city of Brownsville, learn new things, new cultures, new customs, new ideas, and eventually hopefully come back and pay it forward. So I've always told Alexis, focus on your grades, focus on basketball. This is what you love. This is what you do. She's also a big supporter of Jerry Martinez, our cousin. He also plays at Los Fresnos. So that's going to be pretty cool to have a junior in Jerry playing at Los Fresnos. My brother's going to be a senior next year, David. And Alexis, who is in middle school, playing with the varsity. Hopefully it turns out well. But if it doesn't, more than anything, it's a great experience for a middle schooler to be playing with bigger and better competition. But again, it's all about experience. That's the only way that these young athletes could get better. You need to compete. Jerry, right now, my cousin, is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He's in a travel ball team, and it gets expensive. I understand that. But if there's an opportunity, whether that be for choir, for baseball, for powerlifting, for any sport, it's good to travel to see what's out there. That way you can focus on things that you need to work on, perfect it, come down here and dominate. That's the idea, or that's my idea, I guess. So it's good for Alexis to be getting those reps, getting those minutes with bigger girls, better girls who will push her to her limits. That way, hopefully, one day, whenever it's her turn, she'll be dominating on the court very, very soon. Again, Falk, the 8th grade boys basketball team. They took a loss against Bastedo on Saturday. It was a hard-fought game, but they put their best effort, and they left it all on the court. Emmanuel Gonzalez, he proved to be a dominant presence in the paint. The Hawks were led by Elder Ibarra, who scored 5 points. Juan Alvarado scored 4. Emmanuel scored 4. Dominic Solis scored 2. Joshua got a bucket. And also we want to recognize Cesar Vasquez, the team manager. The next game is going to be on Thursday against Lucio Lions Middle School. Lucio Middle School on Thursday. So we wish the basketball team much success. Hopefully, they're able to get the victory. Get the victory on Thursday. I'll be following the teams. That way, hopefully, on the next show, we'll announce the results. So hopefully, Falk. Oh, wish you much success for Falk and Lucio. May the best team win. How about that? So we'll be following that. Again, there's a lot going on in BISD. Lots of things in the RGV. I follow pretty much everything locally here in the Rio Grande Valley, most importantly Brownsville. But if there's something that I've missed, I know UTRGV, they won another championship in chess. So that's pretty impressive. We have people like Royal, chess tutors who are very good at what they do. And this is another way. Chess is another great way to get a scholarship. It is a great way for us to expand the way we think. It's very tactical game. I think it's a game that we should all learn. So again, there's chess, there's Destination Imagination. If there's anything out there that I've missed, I know I've missed a lot, but if there's anything out there that the community would like to for me to pay more attention to, by all means, go ahead and send me a message. Reach out to me, let me know. That way I can follow along, keep everybody up to date, and that way we can feed off of each other in that aspect to be able to share information. I think it's very important. Sharing information is very important, especially with local sports. Now, a lot has happened in sports on the big stage. We recently have seen how Derek Jeter, LeBron James, big name athletes have taken part of acquiring teams. Well, we recently got word that Alex Rodriguez, he's going to be a minority owner with Mark Lore to be the next Minnesota Timberwolves owners. The deal was announced yesterday. The purchase will be for $1.5 billion, if I'm not mistaken. We have seen how A-Rod has signed two of the biggest contracts ever in the history of sports, of baseball. With the Rangers, he signed a $275 million deal, if I'm not mistaken. And then the Yankees, he signed one for $300, if I'm not mistaken. So we have somebody who has built a brand on himself, and he has done everything possible to expand that brand. And he's been very successful. He's come out on Shark Tank as well. He's been an investor, an entrepreneur after his baseball career. And there's a person who was blackballed that was, I guess, rightfully so. He took steroids throughout his career. This is a big thing with him in the federal government. This is after the whole Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa deal. But we see how Alex Rodriguez has still been able to be successful even after baseball has passed him by. Him and Jennifer Lopez, they make a power couple. So it's very impressive, and we're going to be seeing this more and more. How these athletes, these multi-million-dollar athletes, who diversify their portfolio, who are able to acquire properties, restaurants, become moguls, pretty much. We've seen it with Derek Jeter, with the Miami Marlins. He recently was part of an investment group that bought the team. LeBron James. He is a minority owner for the Boston Red Sox and Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken. The European Soccer Club, the Barclays Soccer Club. And now we have A-Rod. The deal was for $1.5 billion. The thing is that they're not going to give up ownership until 2023. This is something that I think they're trying to put the money together, or just it's a sale. As large as it is, I'm sure it takes a while. I'm trying to think of, I think other teams have been kind of swift, but they've been around a year or two just to get all their affairs in order and things like that. So we will have new ownership for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Alex Rodriguez was previously trying to acquire the Mets. The Mets were for sale. They suffered financially because of the Ponzi scheme. Bernie Madoff, the Ponzi scheme, and A-Rod was one of the investors. I'm not sure with Mark Lore, the same investor that bought the Timberwolves, but he was in discussion, negotiations. I think he even made an offer, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't for 1.5. I think the Mets are worth a little bit more, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but that's what we're going to see more. We're going to see these multi-million-dollar athletes become minority or majority owners of sports franchises. And in my opinion, the first thing that I thought was it's going to be 1.5 today with Alex Rodriguez and this billionaire that's probably going to inject another $500,000, $1 billion into the business. It's going to be valued at anywhere from 2.5. I would say 2, close to 2. It's not a big marquee place like LA, New York, Miami, but we have seen how these owners have increased their value throughout time. Look at Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban bought the Dallas Mavericks for, $100 million. I don't even think that. 75 million, I think, and now it's worth, an easy $1 billion. So we've seen these sports franchises increase through time. This is a big investment, obviously, but that 1.5 billion could easily be 2, if not 2.5, within the next 10 to 15 years. And not imagining, that's without championships, in my opinion. Imagine if they do win championships, you have the Golden State Warriors, who are now valued at close to $2.53 billion. So those are big stake investments. But in my opinion, those are something that do pay off in the end. Last night we had the Nets and the Lakers. Nets and Lakers, prime time on ABC. We have Kevin Durant come back recently, and we still saw the Brooklyn Nets lose 126-101. That's without LeBron James. I'm sorry, without LeBron James or AD, and even Kuzma. Kuzma was not in the lineup last night, and still the Los Angeles Lakers managed to win by 25. Again, the Brooklyn Nets did not have James Harden on the floor, but you would expect the Lakers, with none of their marquee all-stars, to dominate the way they dominated, like they did last night, is very, very impressive. The Nets do hold on to the first place in the East, so we'll be following that. One thing that I did want to bring up is something that KD mentioned earlier. And again, KD is somebody who, I don't know, he's like a little diva to me. He's like a little drama queen, and he always jibs and jabbers about stuff. Remember when he got caught with the burner? He had a burner Twitter account, and he was like talking stuff about, I don't know, his teammates or a coach or something like that, and he ended up tweeting, I guess, from his own account, and he got caught and things like that. He just said things that I don't understand. Well, he recently said that he wants to be a great basketball player, not to be chasing some stuff that human beings created in a ring or a gold ball. And the way he said it, he said that now after winning the 2 rings, it's not about winning 2 rings no more. It's about how great can I be? But why do you play the game? Like, it doesn't make sense. I think what he's trying to do is he's everybody's expecting the Brooklyn Nets to win. Everybody's saying, oh, they're the favorites to win the East, them and the Lakers in the finals, them in 6 or 7 games. That's what I've heard everywhere. That's what I'm saying. I say the Nets are going to win. If they don't win, everybody's going to say, you suck. You had Aldridge. You had James Harden. You had Griffin come on this and form this all-star team with Irvin and yourself and Harris, and you're still not able to win a ring. The way I took it was that after his statement, he's saying that I'm not chasing the championships no more. I'm just chasing how good I could be. That's a disrespect to his teammates. That's a disrespect to the franchise who invested hundreds of millions of dollars on him with the expectations that, hey, we want a ring. We want you to bring a ring to Brooklyn, to the Nets. It kind of caught me off guard. It was one of those things that, so then why are you playing? LeBron James has been to 9 or 10 NBA finals. He wants to win them all. He wants to be remembered. That's the way legacy works. Jordan was 6 for 6. Everybody knows him for winning MVPs and winning finals, scoring titles. The 6 rings is what makes Jordan. That's the way I took Kevin Durant's statement when he said that he's just focusing on himself. He just wants to be a basketball player and not to chase things that men created in rings or a gold ball. No. He wants to see how good he can be as a basketball player. And that just goes against everything that we play for, because we do want some sort of recognition. We do want to show that with our abilities, with our talents, we're able to have success. And how do we measure success? Through rings, at least in basketball. That's how we measure success. So for Kevin Durant to say that he's not chasing rings, that's not important to him. That's like a disrespect to his teammates, the franchise, his fans, because at the end of the day, we all support winners. We all want to win. We all that's what sells. Winning. Even for his brand, even for Nike to say, hey, you don't want to win championships? We could sell he got a new shoe dropping. I think it was like the Series 12 or 13 or something like that. It was pretty impressive. I'll post it later. But that's something that caught my attention. We play to win championships, to win games. You don't play to be the best player in the team. You win. You play to win. You play to win the game. The coach for the Colts playoffs. That's the way I sounded. Anyways, again, Oladipo recently got traded to the Miami Heat. He's out with a knee injury, and we've seen how he has been plagued by injuries. When he was with the Indiana Pacers, he tore his he busted his knee. He busted his knee twice, if I'm not mistaken. He was traded to the Rockets. Didn't work out there. He was traded again to Miami Heat. This is a contract year. The Rockets offered him a 2-year, $45 million deal. If I'm not mistaken, no, $40 million a piece, I think. 30 or 40 million a piece. He turned it down. He turned it down because we have seen how these basketball players have been getting amazing, crazy deals. And now he's out with a knee injury. So it's unfortunate. Again, that's a business decision that they take. They bet on themselves. It's just hard to leave $40 million, but again, they have a different lifestyle. To them, they need to make 40 million every couple of years. So Oladipo's out. His knee hasn't been holding on. Actually, the Nets are tied with Philly. Nets and Brooklyn 1 and 2. Milwaukee, Charlotte, Atlanta, Miami, Boston, and New York. That's the way it's looking in the East. I thought about Ramos actually. Where's Ramos when you need him? Ramos, get on. I was thinking actually about Ramos because Ramos is a big Laker fan, and he's always Lakers, Nets in the finals. Lakers, and I think he said 5 or 6 if I'm not mistaken. So yesterday during the game, I was like, hey, I bet you Ramos is watching. So I have Brooklyn coming out of the East. I like Embiid, but for whatever reason, I don't have faith in the other in the team in Philly. On the West, we have Utah, Phoenix, Clippers, Denver, Lakers, who are slumping obviously without their stars. They pulled up the win yesterday. Portland, Dallas, and Memphis. The Spurs are 2 games out, but again, the format for this new playoffs is kind of different. It's going to have like one of those sudden death games, like a 1 game thing where you make it into the basketball playoffs. Darío was talking about it last week. So it's going to be a little bit different. The 9th spot will have a chance to compete and make the playoffs. It's going to be a new thing. Hopefully, again, it's all about ticket sales. It's all about money. We'll see how that goes. I personally don't like that, but again, it sells, it makes money. That's what's important. Again, Sunday today, it's all about the Masters. I'm actually have it on TV right now. I got it on. Spieth is on. He's 5 under. He's actually his tee time is actually at 110. Should be coming up shortly. At 110, he is -5. In the leaderboard is Hideki Matsuyama. Through 3 rounds at the Masters, we have seen how some guys have been able to pull it off on when it matters the most on Sunday, crunch time. We have the leaderboard: Matsuyama -11. Zalatoris -7, Leishman 7. They're tied at 2, and look at their tee time. They're one after the other. So 4 strokes in the lead for 11.5 million. That's a total purse for winning the Masters and the green jacket and living in infamy. So we'll see how this goes. I will be following it. I actually have it on TV right now. Matsuyama obviously is the favorite at -250, if I'm not mistaken, to win. So I guess that's the obvious bet to make, but it's anybody's game. We'll see how Matsuyama is able to finish it off. It should be one of those things with a four-stroke lead. He should be able to cruise into it. But then again, soccer's a little bit tricky. I know my uncle always says that, oh, it's not a sport. It's not a sport. It's a sport, and it's a very difficult sport. I'm a baseball player, and I think I'm a pretty good baseball player. And golf is just, I don't have a deep game. I can't. I don't know why. My short game is very good. My tees, my putts, they're good, surprisingly. And my cousin Darío said, hey, that's easy. The short game is an easy thing to pick up. Is a harder thing to pick up. I'm sorry. The driving it is the easy thing. He's like, the short game is tough because it's all mental. So I've been wanting to get into golf. It's something that has always fascinated me. It's very expensive, but it's a gentleman's sport. It's a gentleman's game. It's that's why whenever the Masters is on, it's a big deal. That's why when Tiger wasn't on, they're like, hey, we're missing out, we're losing money. But again, Matsuyama is 4 strokes in the lead. We'll be following it, but a fair bet, I guess, would be to Matsuyama taking it without anything occurring last minute. Also, again, a lot has been happening. The Super Bowl of wrestling, WrestleMania. I grew up as an avid wrestling fan. I grew up with Hacksaw Jim Duggan, with Sting, Lex Luger, La Parca, Octagon. I even followed Triple A, the Mexican channel. Conan jumped from Triple A to WCW, WWF, La Parca, Rey Mysterio, all those guys. WrestleMania now is a 2-day event. It's been a while since I've followed WrestleMania, since I followed wrestling. I was young, and man, I was really into it. WrestleMania is like a big spectacle, one like no other. And this is the first WrestleMania with fans. Last year, they weren't able to hold it, obviously, because of the lockdown. They did have a show with all those cutout boards and the TVs. But everybody loves WrestleMania. They had 21,000 in the live in stadium yesterday in Tampa Bay. It was outside. They had a rain delay. They had a 25-30 minute rain delay. I had a friend, Gutierrez, who's out there, an avid fan. He did his hair at WrestleMania. It's a great experience. It's one of those where you need to watch. Now it's a 2-day event. When I used to follow, it was just a 1-day event. But again, the Super Bowl wrestling, we saw who's on. I think, yes. Bad Bunny. I think even Bad Bunny showed up yesterday. Again, when I grew up, I was real into it. This is when the NWO was on, and WCW was competing with WWF. It was awesome. It was something to watch. And now, it's all about entertainment. Obviously, Bad Bunny came out, had a great performance. He's been coming out several times, but hey, props to him. For doing everything that he can to. It's all PR, but good for him. Get as much exposure as possible. Again, so that's again, I grew up on that. To me, it was everything. But now that I started watching yesterday the fights, I was like, I knew that it was scripted, but it's just so fake. Now it's like, I don't know, maybe because I was younger and I didn't pay attention to these things, but it was cool back then because you had like Stone Cold and The Rock and DX. There's the storylines, the promos that these guys would do were amazing. These guys were really into it, like they did amazing performances, short skits, you might call them. And today it's like everybody's trying to outdo one another. Everybody's trying to be known for something, like The Rock, what's your name? It doesn't matter what's your name. The Rock did a lot of gimmicks. That's what The Rock does, and everybody loves that. Stone Cold's is what? Like, so when I was watching WrestleMania and watching these promos, these short skits, these segments or whatever, it was just cheesy. It was just like, oh man, like I don't know. Again, I love the sport. To me, it's awesome. I'll always follow it. But it was kind of like it was just weird. It was. I hadn't watched it in a while. I think maybe that's what it was. But again, WrestleMania 2-day event is going to be taking place today as well. Yesterday, Shane McMahon had a steel cage match, which was pretty cool. Again, great entertainment. It's something that I'll always follow. It's wrestling. Who doesn't like wrestling? So it's pretty. I don't know. To me, it was pretty cool to follow that. Again, we have a young lady from La Feria who became a champion for WWE. Next, it's like a live competition, and she won. Where am I at? She won the title. She's gonna win a contract and things like that. But now she's with WWE, and again, representing the RGV, Raquel Gonzalez from La Feria. She won the title this past week on the NXT program. It's like the young up and coming talent that they're trying to promote. See who has what it takes, so to speak. So I also reached out to her. I want to get an interview. I think it's pretty cool. She obviously has a passion for it, and I saw her fight. It was acrobatic. It was one of those where they were jumping on off the top rope. The entrance had like a big old stage, and her opponent jumped off. Like, she deserves it. Like, it's not one of these things where it was handed to her. she's kicking butt. She's doing everything possible. She's a big, strong fit. I was gonna say specimen, but that's what they call dudes. But again, she's strong, tough, everything, everything that we want in young women to be. So congratulations to her and her family. Again, from La Feria. That's a big deal to me. Tell me about it. I thought I was going to empty. Should have been there next year for sure in Arlington. Yeah. Arlington had 40,000 people in the stands. If I'm not mistaken, they opened up their series against the Toronto Blue Jays. And it was a packed house. Tell me about it. I thought it was going to be empty. Be there next year for sure in Arlington. Yeah. So the Rangers are playing in front of a packed house. Baseball is back. I guess we are seeing the world come back to some sort of normalcy. I guess you could call it. It's weird. But yeah, it is surprisingly. We had a no-hitter yesterday. Joe Musgrove, he pitched a no-hitter for the San Diego Padres against the Texas Rangers, actually. So it was a great game. Again, big accomplishment to pitch a no-hitter. And this was like his dream team. He recently got traded to the Padres, and he grew up being a Padres diehard fan. And he became the only Padres pitcher to pitch a no-hitter. So that's a big deal. Lakers whooped the Nets. I was telling everybody, where's Ramos? Ramos is not here. I talked about the Nets game last night. I talked about KD talking about not chasing championships, just trying to perfect himself in his game. And I said, hey, well, that's a contradiction because we all root for great pitching from San Diego native. Yes, Musgrove. Musgrove is a San Diego native, diehard Padres fan, and it's pretty cool to pitch a no-hitter for your team. So he'll be in the history books. That's for sure. So you are right, Martinez, San Diego native. What a big deal for him, for the sport, and for the team. Obviously, one thing that I wanted to bring to your attention, Ramos, maybe you could help me out. What do you think of this? You had Michael Jordan against Tiger Woods, Brady against who's that? Brady against Muhammad Ali. You had Lionel Messi against Phelps, Gretzky against LeBron James, and in the final, it's Michael Jordan and Gretzky to be the all-time greatest. And guess who won? Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky was voted as the GOAT of GOATs after he defeated Michael Jordan. And this is pretty crazy, but I forget how great. Again, this is the bracket. To me, what was impressive was that Brady beat Ali, because Ali to me is like civil rights, big deal. I don't know if they're doing it for championships only. Jordan to beat Woods. Maybe Woods lately hasn't been getting good press. Michael Phelps beating Lionel Messi. I don't think so. Yes, it was big for him to win all those gold medals. It's never been done before. But GOAT of GOATs, Lionel Messi is an internationally, worldwide known figure. He's probably close to be a billionaire. He's obviously not paying his taxes. He's getting to some legal troubles. But I was impressed by that. Wayne Gretzky, but again, Wayne Gretzky during the 80s, early to mid 80s, he was dominating as a 21-year-old, number 99. He was an amazing football player, hockey player, just something that the sport had never seen at the time. So Jordan loses to Wayne Gretzky, the GOAT of GOATs. Let me see. Ramos, without KD and LBJ and baby LeBron, showing why the Lakers didn't want to trade him. Oh, in my opinion, there are no greats of all time. It's just comparing eras. It's hard to do that. I think they're greats in each and every era. You're right. There is no great of all time. It's hard to compare. You can't compare Muhammad Ali to Mayweather. To me personally, Mike Tyson is the greatest of all time. But I'm just biased towards Mike. I grew up on Mike, but that's the way it goes. Another thing that has been going on is they're selling like memories. I know this sounds weird. We saw this. The Jake Paul knockout of Nate Robinson is being sold for $10 million. And this is crazy because now they're not. People used to buy cards. Recently, a LeBron James and a Tom Brady card sold for like $2.5 million a piece. Babe Ruth's card goes for, whatever it goes for. Sports artifacts, whether it be a baseball bat, a written letter, a signed guitar. Now that's the thing of the past. Now what everything is going to is a digital media clip, if that's the term. You own a clip. You own the rights to that clip, if I'm not mistaken. Which is kind of ironic, but that's the way everything is going towards nowadays. So that's what kind of got me thinking. Like, hey man, these guys are really going to change the game, and obviously they are, because Tom Brady, he is launching a new platform called Autographs this spring. It will bring together some of the biggest names in the sports, entertainment, fashion, and pop culture to work with creators to develop unique digital collectibles. That's the world is coming to. Yesterday, WrestleMania, WWE, they were selling The Undertaker's clips, like his highlights that he's done throughout his professional career for millions of dollars. And I was thinking, like, what? Like that's a thing? So they're selling you memories, pretty much. They're selling memories, which is weird. We saw the Nate Robinson go for $10 million, and it's just, I don't know. That's just ridiculous. But again, that's what we're going to. We're going to the digital age. So there you have it. Again, talking about football, it's unfortunate we got some news also that Phillips, he was an ex-football player, Adam Phillips. He ended up killing 5, and I think right now somebody just died. I just got a notification. One of the victims, the 6th alleged shooting victim, dies. So now it's been 5. He killed a physician and his family, his grandkids, his kids, his wife. They were neighbors, and this is something that has been discussed. Like, oh, it's steroids, it's concussions, it's CTE. What would cause somebody to do that? Right now, the police, they don't have all the information. Obviously, if they are withholding it at this time. There has to be some sort of relationship. Obviously, one was a physician and one was an ex-football player. Maybe they have some sort of patient-doctor relationship, and either it went wrong. Obviously, it went wrong somehow. Was it a mixed prognosis? Was it a mixed diagnosis? They gave him the wrong medicine? He just freaked out, or there's something more to this. But again, the study of concussions, of CTE, has always been something that have been in question. I think it's CTE. I hope not. Again, he didn't play that long. He did play with several football teams. No, he did have a good NFL career. He was, he did travel he did bounce around from team to team. But it's just tragic to lose a human life, much less 5, 6, a whole family. When they're kids, when there's kids involved, it's even worse. But we'll be following the story, obviously. Sad for the family in South Carolina. It's just tragic how something like this would happen. Um, President Biden recently did call to have semi-automatics be a little bit harder to obtain them, or a longer process to obtain them. I guess more paperwork, more delays. Um, there's obviously some sort of gun problem. Obviously, we just got to figure out what to do with it. Um, Obviously, counseling isn't helping. If Adams, the football player, did receive counseling from that doctor, physician, if he got some sort of suggestion, something, we don't know. Maybe he just freaked out and just killed him. A freak accident that there's no explanation. He just did it. Again, it's tragic. It's crazy. But something like that would happen. Um, that's life, unfortunately. We just saw a trade. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was traded from the Jets to the Panthers. It has been crazy because the quarterbacks selected in the top 3 overall are with a new team. Mitch Trubisky, previously with the Bears, now back up to the Bills. Jared Goff, we saw how he recently got traded from the Rams to the Lions. Carson Wentz from the Eagles to the Colts. Matthew Stafford in that same trade with Jared Goff from the Lions to the Rams. Is this going to work for the new teams taking on these quarterbacks? I don't know. We'll wait and see. But it's one of those things that didn't work out. It hasn't worked out with the Bears with Mitch Trubisky. It hasn't worked out with Sam Darnold and the Jets. Obviously, the Jets are looking for a new quarterback, and everybody anticipates Zach Wilson to be the next or the future of the New York Jets. For whatever reason, these talented quarterbacks haven't been able to produce. Has it been the system? Has it been the team? Do they need a fresh start? I think Sam Darnold has all the tools needed. He is a great quarterback from USC. He's just had 3 different offensive coordinators each and every year. So it's hard to see any progress or to adapt or adjust to make that your playbook, because every year you're getting new schemes, new formations, a new voice in your ear. So it's hard to follow on that. So what happens to the Carolina Panthers? So it'll be interesting to see. Now they have their future quarterback. We'll see how that goes. In my opinion, they're going to give him 2 years. If he's not producing in 2 years, start from scratch. He does have the tools, in my opinion, again, to have what it takes to win, to be successful. We'll see how the Carolina Panthers do in the NFC South against Tom Brady. Another thing that kind of freaked me out: Jerry Jones is infatuated with the 6'5", 240-pound Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is a beast. He's a standout. Too soon, Ramos. He's a standout tight end from the Florida Gators. How Ramos is mentioning. Aaron Hernandez was also a tight end for the Florida Gators. I don't think we should. Aaron Hernandez, unfortunately, was a isolated incident. It was a one thing. Who's doing acid, who's gangbanging. Only Aaron Hernandez. Like this guy is signing. He was worth $48 million, and he was gangbanging. Like, who does that? I honestly think that was an isolated incident. But for the Cowboys to want a tight end when there's so much need on the defensive side, you need pass rushers. You need a linebacker. You need a safety. You need a corner. Can we pick those up in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round? I don't know. I doubt Pitts will fall to number 10 for the Cowboys. But this guy is a specimen. He's been projected to be – he's had the best scouting report of a tight end in forever. Again, is this somebody that the Cowboys want to waste that pick? Do they jump to the 5th spot to try and take? Do they give up some future picks? I agree. They don't need a tight end. They need a corner. We need a safety. So again, everybody, I'm sure, 1 through 10 is in fact infatuated with Kyle Pitts. He's somebody who has an advantage over linebackers, who could compete and get that ball against cornerback safeties. But we don't need, the Cowboys do not need a tight end. There's so much that they need that they, in my opinion, we would be risking too much. We would be risking too much if we gave up so much for a stacked offense, in my opinion, because I think we already have a good offense. We got great receivers. Zeke, we're expecting good things. We don't need another weapon. We need help on the defensive side because we're giving up 30 points a game, and we can't do that. We can't have our defense out there and just giving up points. So again, we'll see how that goes. It's something to follow, of course. Let me see. UFC yesterday we had in the world of boxing. Marvin Vettori, he beat Kevin Holland in a unanimous decision in a 5-round fight. The main event, it was boring. Vettori has won back-to-back wins. We do anticipate him getting a championship bout very soon. Holland is coming back from 2 losses. So this is something that doesn't look good, obviously, for Holland. We just got word that Conor McGregor, and there will be a trilogy with Cormier. The third fight. Again, it's all about the money. Defense wins championships. Yeah, I agree. We do need a corner or a safety. In boxing, also there was a I want to show this. I'm almost done. I want to show this because it was a bad knockout. Again, I was watching UFC. I was watching boxing, and when this came on, I was like, man, we got another boxer. Who's that? Crazy knockout. I was watching. I was like, ouch. Crazy fight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'm trying to get Raquel Gonzalez, I'll her by her stage name. Raquel Gonzalez, the champion from La Feria, WWE Women's Champion, on the show. I did reach out to her. Hopefully, we can set something up soon. It's pretty cool to have athletes competing on that stage here locally, representing the area. I think it'd be pretty cool to reach out, see what her goals are, and what motivated her in life to do the things that she's doing. Thank you once again for tuning in. We'll come back next week. Hopefully, Dario will be on with me next week to discuss sports. I'll be finishing watching the Masters. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Have a good Sunday.